Today we are going to look into an horrible case where Kimberley Karen Mota was brutally murdered by her boyfriend. On 10th May 2020, which was on a Sunday night, Kimberley Karen Motar went to her boyfriend's house. She left her phone by the bed and she went straight into the bathroom to take a shower. Her boyfriend, Rafael, took her phone in her absence and went through her messages and got very angry after finding out that she was talking with men against his command. So Rafael went into the kitchen and picked the kitchen knife. He hid it under the pillow on his bed as he waited for Kimberley. After Kimberley finished showering, she went to the bedroom and lied next to her boyfriend. Her boyfriend was filled with anger and he attacked her with the kitchen knife, stabbing her several times until she was dead. What made Rafael to brutally murder his girlfriend Kimberley? Join us as we unravel the events that led to Kimberley's brutal death. Kimberley Karen Mota was born on 26th of February 1998 in Manacor in Brazil. She had two younger brothers, and they all lived with their mother, who was known as Nela Pinheiro. As a teenager, Kimberley started to take interest in modeling and dancing as a career. Apart from that, she also had another dream. She wanted to study medicine and become a doctor. After completing her high school education, she went to a university in Paraguay, but for some unknown reasons, she had a lot of difficulties adapting to life in Paraguay. So she returned to her country, Brazil, so that she can continue with her studies. In the year 2019, when she was 21 years, she was crowned Miss Manacor after participating in a beauty contest and charming the local pageant's judges with her beauty while on stage. Kimberley also participated in Miss Amazona beauty contest, but unfortunately she didn't win the contest because she finished on the 6th place. Kimberley got a scholarship to study dentistry at Metro campus in Manaus in Brazil. So she moved in the city to live with her uncle, who was known as Henry Mota, in his apartment so that she can continue with her studies. Kimberley became more mindful of her diet and she would run regularly to keep fit. She also participated in advertisement campaigns so that she can support herself financially. Kimberley also made extra income by selling clothes. She had to save money because she would be opening a dental practice in the future. As a model, Kimberley was always active, sharing her photos on social media accounts. She posted motivational messages and she interacted with her followers online. One of those who were following her online was a 31-year-old man known as Rafael Fernandes Rodrigues. Rafael was born in the year 1988 in São Bernardo do Campo, which is a Brazilian municipality in the state of São Paulo. He was born to Nilton Rodrigues and Fatima Rodrigues. Rafael came from a wealthy family, and he was the only child of his parents. Rafael was married, but he was very much aggressive towards his wife. He was controlling her every move. Rafael was a very jealous man. He would always abuse his wife and also physically hit her. After 2 years of marriage, his wife could no longer tolerate his behaviors, so she filed for a divorce, and she eventually managed to divorce him. Rafael was now a single man again. In the year 2017, he went to get a job as a judicial analyst at the Regional Labor Court. He started following Kimberley's profile, and soon they started communicating through the social media. On March 2020, Kimberley posted that she was going to a club with her friends. Rafael also decided to go to the club to meet her in the evening. At first, Kimberley turned Rafael down, but Rafael could not take no for an answer. He kept on following her around. He constantly messaged her on social media. The girl made it clearly that she was not ready for a relationship because she wanted to focus more on her career. Rafael continued trying, and he managed to convince her to give him her phone number. Over time, their conversation became more closer and closer. A few weeks later, they went on their first date. They started dating and their relationship seemed happy, but soon Rafael began to repeat his negative traits from his previous marriage. Rafael began to control every action of Kimberley. He expressed a lot of jealousy towards her, and he was extremely toxic. He would check her contacts, texts, messages, and photos. Rafael even forbade Kimberley from communicating with any man, including her male friends and male coworkers. Kimberley didn't like this behavior, and so they always quarreled and fought. Rafael would always send flowers after the quarrel to apologize, and he would call her anytime during the day. Kimberly's best friend noticed the constant argument and reconciliation. She told her that her relationship with Rafael could lead to something bad, but Kimberly was in love, and so she didn't listen to her friend. Rafael later proposed marriage to Kimberly, but Kimberly didn't have planned to enter into marriage at that time. She wanted to focus more on building her life and career, so she refused Rafael's marriage proposal. Rafael became very angry, and he even threatened to break up with her. Later, he again sent followers to Kimberly, and he apologized to her. Kimberly told her mother that she was not happy with her relationship. On the 10th May 2020, which was on a Sunday, Kimberly, her uncle Henry Mota, and their friends went jogging at Wind Park. Rafael joined them. Rafael and Kimberly acted normally, as if there was no fight between them. Therefore, her uncle didn't notice any problem between the two. On that afternoon, Kimberly went to her best friend's house where she texted her mother, wishing her happy Mother's Day. In the evening, Kimberly called a cab to take her home, but after seeing the high cost, she called Rafael. Rafael arrived at 10 p.m. to pick her up, and the CCTV camera caught Kimberly entering into Rafael's car. Later, they pulled up at a friend's place. An hour later, Kimberly texted her uncle telling him that she had gone to Rafael's apartment. She asked her uncle not to lock the door because she had forgotten her keys. Rafael promised to take Kimberly home later. After Kimberly arrived at Rafael's apartment, she went to the bathroom to take a shower, leaving her phone by the bed. Rafael then took that opportunity to look into her phone. He unlocked the phone and went through her text messages. He found out that she had been communicating with different men. His jealousy and rage took control of him, so he went to the kitchen and he took the kitchen knife and hid it under the pillow on the bed. After Kimberly was done showering, she went and laid next to Rafael on bed. Rafael removed the kitchen knife under the pillow and he attacked her by stabbing her several times. Kimberly died on the scene. After the crime, Rafael tried to wipe the blood on the bed and on the floor. After realizing that it was impossible to hide the evidence, Rafael changed his clothes and turned on the air conditioner to get rid of the odor. Rafael escaped the scene of the crime as surveillance cameras recorded him going down the elevator shortly after 1 a.m. at night. He got into his car and drove towards the state of Roraima, which was located in southeastern border between Brazil and Venezuela. The following day, Uncle Henry Mota discovered that his niece Kimberly was not at home, and he suspected that something was amiss. He contacted Kimberly's best friend, who also reported that she was unable to contact her. He called all of Kimberly's friends and acquaintances, but they gave the same answer. At that time, Rafael, who was on the run, reached the state of Goiás. He filled an epidemiological form regarding coronavirus. He indicated that he was traveling to Boa Vista and he would be returning to Manaus on May 26th. On May 11th, Henry Mota continued to look for Kimberly. He went to Rafael's apartment and he knocked at the door, but no one answered. He asked the neighbors if they had seen them, but no one knew anything. Henry Mota was sure that something had happened to Kimberly and Rafael. He immediately informed the police about the disappearance of Kimberly and Rafael, but the police suggested to him to wait because Kimberly and Rafael were grown-ups and they may have gone on an unplanned trip. Henry was so worried, he was thinking that the two might have gotten into an accident or something bad had happened to them. While Rafael was still on the run, he got involved in a traffic accident near the municipality of Caracarai. His car overturned and completely crushed, causing him to lose his documents and phone. He walked to the nearest village where he asked for help. He managed to find a driver who was going to Caracarai, where he withdrew some money. No one knew where Kimberly and Rafael were, so the police asked Rafael's father for the permission so that they can search Rafael's apartment. On Tuesday of May 12th, Manaus police and military police got into Rafael's apartment. They found Kimberly's body covered with blood. They also managed to get a kitchen knife at the scene. They took the knife for examination, and after the examination, Rafael's fingerprints were found on the knife. Rafael was immediately placed on the wanted list. The camera footage and the forensic evidence made Rafael Rodriguez as a prime suspect in the murder of Kimberley Mota. The media were able to air out the crime, which reached the entire city. Kimberley's mother, Nayla Pinheiro, was informed that her daughter was dead. The Amazonas State Court issued a temporary detention warrant for Rafael. The Department of the Security posted the picture of Rafael in the media and indicated where people can go to report about his whereabouts. The following day, the police were able to trace Rafael's entire journey. Rafael's father couldn't handle the disgrace which was brought by his son, and so on. 14th May, he committed suicide by throwing himself in front of the train. 3 countries joined forces so that they can catch Rafael, that is Brazil, Guyana, and Venezuela. Rafael, who was still on the run, reached Venezuela, but he was denied entry by the local authorities in that country. Rafael realized that he was already a wanted man, so he needed to find a temporary house from the local Venezuelans. He went into the forest to a wooden makeshift hut. He paid some youths to guard him so that no one can get him. An anonymous informer called the police, who arrived at the site before the criminal could escape. The police met a lot of resistance when trying to catch Rafael. Rafael was being defended by those he had hired, and they were armed. On the evening of 15th May, the police finally managed to arrest Rafael. 2 people were also arrested together with him and charged for assisting him. Rafael was brought to a police station in Manaus. When in custody, Rafael confessed to killing Kimberley. His lawyer announced before the trial that he was mentally ill. Rafael was sent to a psychiatric examination by the judge. A few months later, results came out that Rafael was mentally healthy. It was noted that at the time of crime, Rafael acted on a conscious state, therefore he was able to stand trial. On the 9th December 2020, the state of Amazonas held the first hearing of the case. Rafael exercised his right to remain silent. He did not answer questions from prosecutor Clarice and Judge Inicio. There were testimonies from 8 witnesses who were presented by both the defense and the prosecution when the search for the perpetrator was underway. Kimberley's mother, who had been diagnosed with leukemia, which is a blood cancer, fought for life and justice for her daughter. After a long study of the case, analyzing the material, Judge Inicio ruled that Rafael should be tried by a jury of the people. The jury trial, consisting of 4 men and 3 women, was set for the October 27th that same year. Kimberley's mother was a witness to the prosecution via a video link because she was on the ward at the hospital at that time. Nayla Pinheiro stated that despite the pain of the loss of her daughter, she held no grudge against Rafael. After the witnesses were questioned, the results of the forensic examination were attached and read out. It was the turn of the accused. He did not answer any question. He only answered the question that he was asked by his lawyer, that what was the motive of the crime? Was it jealousy or something else? Rafael answered that the motive was that Kimberley was lying to him. She deceived him by looking at him in the eye, and he already knew the truth from the messages on her phone. After that, the defense and the prosecution started debating. 2 prosecutors reviewed all the evidence. The judge decided to postpone the end of the trial, and so on. Thursday, 28th of October 2021, it was time for the jury to deliberate and judge on Rafael's case. There were several charges against him, and that included violation of Article 121 of the Penal Code related to murder, subparagraph 1, malicious motive, subparagraph 4, using a legal defense that excludes the victim's defense, and subparagraph 6, which is femicide. Rafael was found guilty of the offense, and he was sentenced to 14 years imprisonment. The trial ended, and Kimberley's mother passed away in the hospital. Family, friends, and everyone who knew or heard of the case believed that there was an error, and Rafael could have been given a longer sentence.